Welcome to Geeks on Screens with Coffee. And let's say hello to today's guest. It's Martin Croft. Hello, Martin.
Hey, Mark, you right? Yeah, not too bad.
I'm doing
It says it's offline at the moment. I don't know if it's, if it's working.
We've got to take a couple of seconds. In fact, I'm streaming an awful background. Let me just sort that out. There we go. Right, I think that's better. There we go. Right. Although I'm not really in the right position.
Things are happening now. I can see things.
Oh,
right, Mark?
There's a delay. It's not like you're on TV. The instant you say it, it comes out there.
I've just seen myself blink at myself.
Board. So, sound and vision in sync. We'll put that back up. I like the green. It gets knackered by the green screen behind.
I need to pick someone with lots of syllables in the name, don't they? Lots of letters for the nomination.
Yeah, well,
Make it difficult.
See if I run out of letters. Well, Geeks on Screens with Coffee, I had to use an A upside down as an E. If you look at the, in fact, I'll put it back up so people can. If I'm just showing it now. Two places I've had to use A's upside down. Sorry. Are you watching it?
I've got it on. Yeah, I can see.
Oh, okay.
Basis.
Oh, all right. So
I've got slight surprise for you, actually, Mark. Is it? It doesn't fall to bits. Oh, is it? Can you see it?
Yeah.
It did light up. Oh, there you go. Lit up. when I've been watching it the last week, I noticed you with the screen. I've got one of those light boxes somewhere, so I had to try and find it today.
What? You're doing it properly? I'm doing it on the cheap, and there you come. You come along. You're the 9th guest. 9? No, yes. I think Rob was 8 last night. And then you come and you just urinate all over my parade. All right, let's put a message up on the Twitters and the Facebooks and the YouTube streams and the blogosphere. I'll just chatting to. Is it at Martin Croft?
I haven't got your handles.
Is that your? I should have checked your Twitter handle, shouldn't I?
Yeah, it's just Martin Croft.
I should have done some research. You think that would be sensible, wouldn't you? Don't worry, we can wait. We can wait till people are ready. There we go. I just changed to Martin Croft. Anyone got any questions for him?
That's gonna.
And I'll spell him right. So, Martin, how are you? So, first of all, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Vimto.
Really?
Yes, really Vimto. Yes.
Are you really? That isn't vino.
It's, I wouldn't drink vino in a glass like that. Yes, it's a Vimto. It's 20-7. I might partake after this. Still sunny in the north.
Still sunny down here. Whereabouts
are you based?
I live in the Norfolks. So if you imagine, like, just going across the country in probably a really hideous drive that seems to go on forever, just across the country on the poorest roads possible. Yes. It took me 5.5 hours to drive to Manchester.
Ooh. Yeah. At least not driving anywhere now.
Well, no, yeah, right. In the days when we could drive,
it's weird actually driving nowadays. I don't get out obviously very often.
So, how's the virus and stuff affecting you and your family?
I've been working obviously from home like everyone else, fortunately. I'm a contractor, so luckily enough to get extended just before all this happened. So I've got 3 months and then see what happens at the end of that. My son just started an IT apprenticeship, and it was help desk, and he's actually been able to work from home, so that's quite worked out for him because he just literally started about 2 weeks before lockdown. It's okay, it's different every day, isn't it? It's some days good, some days bad. It's what it is. It's the new world.
So were you working from home before, or were you kind of working from
no, I did it a couple of days, working from the office mainly, commuting to Manchester, so that's changed. So I used to I'm south of Preston, so it's about 40-45 minutes train journey. So it is read a book on the train on the way there, read a book on the train home. And then when I started working from home, that time sort of disappeared. So I was like, I wasn't reading in the morning. I was basically starting work and then finishing work. I was like, where's that? It's like a magic hour when you're commuting. So I suppose I'm missing the commute a bit, but you get used to things.
Are you originally from Preston? Is that Preston?
Exton is my home village, which is a few miles away. I live in Leyland, where the trucks and the tanks and things like that come from. If you ever drive through Leyland, there's a tank on one of the roundabouts. Proper size, full size tank.
And you live in the tank?
No. Nearby.
That is quite an impressive bookshelf. Or is it just a strange? Is it one of these? Is it the new wallpaper?
It's wallpaper. No, it's not wallpaper. It's actually books. Yeah. There's some really sad old sequel books up there as well. I don't know if they're actually in shops. Sequel 2008.
Only
internals.
Only two.
I probably should be fresh. Yeah, I gave the 2000. I gave the 2001 away.
Yeah,
a few years ago.
I gave my 6.5 one away. I think I gave a load of old ones to a charity shop. I can't. I'm not sure what they did with them. Probably threw them out.
I tell you what, I did come across recently. Remember Sequel Server magazine?
Yeah.
I've got a whole bucket load of it. If anyone wants them, because obviously they stopped printing them in print. How many years ago was it? But I was like, I don't want to throw them out. Yay, much of them. But it goes up to 2012, I think it is. If anyone's of interest to anyone out there.
So you're offering to sell these, are you?
No. If someone wants them, I'm sure I can. If I can get them to. I'm not going to the post office in the current climate, though.
No.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they'd be quite heavy to send.
Individual ones.
Oh, well,
maybe it could be.
Can I have March of 2010, please?
I'll make a note.
Yeah.
March 20. I could give them away user groups. We did once, actually. I don't know if I should say this, but obviously, I'm involved in the Manchester user group. There was a guy who now works for Microsoft, who used to run the Manchester user group. And as some spot prizes a while back, he gave us all these old documents, even with his name on the back. As various things. A swag. I don't know what happened to them. I don't think we could actually give them away, really. Even Microsoft name things.
Don't worry. I'm sure.
Quite interesting.
I'm sure he's not watching.
No.
Although I could find him on. I'll just send him a message on Teams. But you'll deny every second of it, won't you?
Yeah.
I didn't say that. So you're one of these user group leaders then. That's
Yeah. So there's a community of us. So we're probably quite unique in the UK because there's 5 of us involved in it. Obviously, Ian, who's working with yourself at Microsoft, the Pauls, Paul Anderson and Paul Egan, and Sean Wheelie DBA, it's probably better known as. So yeah, it's we're obviously running SQL Saturday Manchester as well, which we were in the process of planning that for this year when it all fell apart. So whether anything will come of that, because there's a few things popping up now, these community ones, isn't there, like Data Weekender and the virtual conferences. So it's a potential avenue We have that, to be honest with
you. Yeah.
And we think we've got our first virtual session tomorrow with who's the guy who's speaking tomorrow? Someone, yourself.
Some idiot. Yes, me. Come and see me. Yes. Talk about SQL on Demand, or Azure Synapse Analytics SQL on Demand. So I've been talking to customers about it and been showing some customers, but not really talking about it in the community because I wasn't kind of sure because it's still in preview. But they released the documentation, so if you go online, you'll be able to see it. So it's probably
I'm looking forward to it. It should be interesting.
One of these rare occasions where you can actually go and you can see the Microsoft documentation before you can actually get hold of the product. Yeah,
it's quite good because we're presented to Manchester and also Leeds on the same night. So we talked about doing this because we are like sister community sort of thing, and we sort of share seat speakers on Wednesdays and Thursday nights and stuff like this. And we've talked for a while about having a virtual speaker. So that's going to be quite good to see how that all comes off.
Yeah. Well, in fact, I think we've got a test later. Ian wanted to try and test out the technology to make sure that it's going to work. I mean,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll work it out. I mean, how many technical people does it take to live stream a session?
Yeah, we're screwed, aren't we?
Yeah, I can't do light bulbs or door handles or taps. We're knackered.
Oh well, I've been doing lots of DIY. I'm not very good at DIY, but that's one thing that's happened with the lockdown. Paint the office, the fences. I'm starting running out of things now, which is a good thing. Bit of free time.
Yeah, well, I would normally just pop by our local home base and just pick something up, and then I've got some stuff to do. But I actually have to plan and do click and collect or something from the B&Q, which is like 20 miles away, 15 miles away.
If you haven't got the right tools, it starts to get difficult and challenging, the things that you've got to do to try and fix them and make them work, I'm finding.
Yeah.
I managed to fill a few cracks in the office back with silicone. I didn't realise that you can't paint silicone until I'd tried to paint it. So that hour and a half that I actually filled the cracks in, I had to redo completely again. Looks nice now, though. 3 hours later.
But with decorators, chalk?
Yes, this was silicone chalk.
Yeah.
It was faulty, so I had to rig up some system to get the stuff out. Oh. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not going to DIY.
No. I kind of attempt a few things. I did put in one of these smart. We've got some Hue bulbs, so I can fit a bulb.
Oh yeah,
I'm good. And then, but for one room, there's lots of bulbs, so I thought I'd go for one of these remote control switches. You can just do with the phone. They're quite expensive, but I managed to find one that was cheap. Bought it from China. The instructions were rubbish. And
Chinese.
Yeah, and I did manage to give myself an electric shock off the light switch.
Nothing worse than electric shocks.
Well, instant death. I mean, it was only a light buzz, but I was it was dark, and I had an extra thing, and so I had the lights on, and I was just adjusting the plate and screwing the plate back in. And I must have done something or touched something. Well, clearly I did. But there was some swearing after that.
the handy those switches though, the internet switches. Because I'm actually in an office, so it's outside. It's not connected to the house, so there's no heating in here. So I've got one of those plugs and some of these oil-filled radiators, so I can set it 15 minutes before I get up in the morning, and then automatic go off after half an hour type of thing. So I'm coming into a nice warm environment to work.
So you've still got to commute then?
Yeah, it's 12 foot or so. It's not too bad. It's not enough to read anyway, tripping up over the flags.
Or it just looks like you're going, you know, it's like 40 years ago and you're going to an outside toilet.
Very similar. That's the other thing. I've got to go to the inside toilet when I want to, you know, get up. Keeps you busy. I thought about moving a kettle in here, and I thought, no, I wouldn't walk at all then. So I was okay.
We've got one of these coffee makers that has got a reservoir on it. So
okay, yeah,
I did put that up in the office, and so there was no need for me to go. I just, would lean over, make a drink, and then only need to actually leave the office to urinate or to top up the water jug. Wasn't good.
Yeah.
No, not a good.
Did you find you weren't sleeping? Just far too much coffee.
Well, yeah, I don't have that problem. I have the reverse. If I don't have enough coffee, then because there's a horrible caffeine crash. Yeah, it's not pleasant to be around me when I'm coming down off caffeine. So let's get started with our first question. In fact, I went back through the videos and Ian didn't even answer this one.
That sounds about right for Ian.
What's your favourite cheese?
I've thought long and hard about this, and then I saw Alec Whittle's answer, which went on for about 5 minutes, and he gave about different scenarios. So I was like, I can't match that on any scale. I originally was going to go for Stripey Jack, but I'd probably go with Applewood, smoked Applewood. Which have you tried? Because you're a vegan, I believe, after watching the video, or meat? Yeah.
Meat is murder. Yeah.
My wife and my daughter are vegans, recent vegans, the wife. So I'm getting the pressure. I keep getting told on a regular basis. But they do a smoked Applewood cheese, a vegan cheese, and the taste is bob on. Texture's not right, but the actual taste is very similar to it. Smoked Applewood.
Where did you get that from?
It must have been from one of the supermarkets, I imagine. I don't know. I can let you know.
Yeah, well, it's not the one that begins with T. Or I haven't seen.
I don't know. Oh, sure.
Yeah, because each one has kind of a separate kind of vegan range. So unless you shop, if you shop around, you have a really big range of stuff you can eat.
Yes. Yeah. The cheese, like you said, is awful usually. I've tried a few, but it's just not great. I did have a pizza from not one of the main ones, but not Domino's or Pizza Hut. Something could have been Pizza Express, and they did a really nice vegan one with some vegan cheese on it, and that didn't taste disgusting. Oh, is something happening? I was thinking emails. I'll just close that down.
Oh, I see. You're too busy working. You can't even spend.
I did. I never saw your tweet come through. I don't know if you got my name wrong or whether you tweeted.
Oh, okay. I wonder whether. Let me send another one. Just chatting with. Well, I sent it from the Restream portal, so it's supposed to go out on all platforms.
Oh yeah, maybe. I can see myself there. I'm just gonna try it.
On you.
Yeah.
Oops. So I don't know.
I can see myself in my COVID-19 haircut. I don't usually have this less hair, so a few weeks ago it was.
What did you go down to?
I had a massive boof on. Do you not remember?
It's been a while since I saw you.
I've never had a massive boof on. It's always been going.
Yeah, but you I haven't seen you for a few months. You could have gone,
Yeah.
big hair. It could be all like luscious and
never again. I don't think no.
No.
Yeah, hopefully.
My
You either go one way or the other way, don't you?
Yeah, I got my daughter shaved. Took it down to a 5. But she was doing it, and then when I finished, I went, "You haven't done this side." Oh, okay. And then she went around again.
Damn.
And
He's
then
noticed.
And then she took the camera around, and then I looked at the video, and there was this big bit at the back that she hadn't done.
So you've got a mullet now, have you?
No, I just it's tempting. So I just went over it myself. I don't know how short to go though. I guess.
That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah. Mine's grown now, so when I was going out for my daily walk, I had a hat on there. It's got a bit too warm for that. I've got used to it now, though.
So do you have a routine, a daily walk with an animal, or do you have...
No, I just tend to get out for an hour every day, just have a wander around. It's getting a bit boring around the streets of Leyland, but, finding new places. Trying to find new places. It keeps you going, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. I've been walking the dog. I go for a nice hour and a half long walk at the weekend, down to our local river and then along there, and it's a bit harder at night where we are because we've got no street lamps.
Ah, right. Yeah.
So if you're going
so
on,
where's the nearest town to you then? Whereabouts is that?
It's kind of 5 miles away.
No.
It's called Dereham. It's kind of halfway between Norwich and Kings Lynn. It's about 15 miles outside Norwich. Okay. So
okay, yeah.
I sort of describe people go,
an hour and a half on long roads.
Yeah, well, they're roads, but not like other people know roads. So I describe the journey as to my brother. You get a train up to Norwich, then you have to get a bus over to Dereham, and then it's a horse and trap to our local village. That's the kind
You're
of...
not joking.
Yeah. Well, there's a bus from our village. I think it goes every 2 hours or something.
Yeah.
Which
nice and secluded.
Yeah. We don't like strangers. But the bonus is we don't live far from the exchange, so we get good broadband.
Nice, not too bad.
So you've done favourite cheese. You're not an MVP, so I can't do the MVP question. So do you know who Richard Herring is?
I've heard him mentioned on your podcast thing. That's about it. But no, I haven't. I'm sure
I need to educate the world on Richard Herring.
His name rings a bell, but I don't know if it's only because I've been obviously listening to this. I've heard it from. What has he done? What's he?
Well, do you listen to podcasts?
Occasionally, yeah.
Oh, put his name in.
He does a podcast.
Yeah, well, yeah. So he interviews. Do you like comedians?
Yes.
So he interviews kind of comedians, but mostly in a silly way. I kind of model my life on Richard Herring, really.
I might have come across him then. It might be the name I'm not, because I tend to listen to quite a bit of comedy and stuff. And
it's RHLSTP, Richard Herring's Leicester Square Theatre podcast. So do you listen to what then? ComCom Pod, the comedian podcast?
No. All these I will be going back to and stuff like that.
So what do you listen to?
The BBC stuff. So you got the Now Show. What's the Friday Night Comedy? Richard. What's his name? John Steele. Mark Steele.
Yeah, Mark Steele.
Yeah, Mark Steele's podcast and stuff. They're really clever, really well done.
The tour
where he goes to a different town. Yeah. Try and get to live comedy gigs as well. Last few years I've been up to the Fringe Festival. It's obviously not happening this year.
I I really want to go, but it just seems.
Oh, it's amazing. Amazing it is. It's expensive to go, but the first year I just got a B&B, a room in a B&B, and the first gig was 11 o'clock on a Thursday in the back street of a pub. The comedian didn't show up, so his mate tried to take it on board. I was having a pint, and I just thought, this is brilliant. There's 4 people in the audience, and I've loved it.
Right. So we've got.
The pool one's great.
You've inspired a new line of questioning.
Oh, have you?
All right. So I did this with. I was working with a customer in Leeds for quite a while, and we started chatting, and then we went and talked about comedy and podcast, and then we just got our phones out and just going, right, do you listen to this podcast? So, Justin Morehouse.
Yeah, I know Justin Morehouse. I saw him at the comedy club not too long since before all this. It was the one in Manchester.
Smartest man in the world. That's great.
Have you listened to one of the funniest ones I've listened to? I know it's an adult show, but My Dad Wrote a Porno. Have you heard of that?
Family. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Lauren Levine and a few others.
It's not. Yeah. It's an old bloke who's basically trying to write in the literature angle of it. What's a Levine? There's a few people involved in it. It's quite funny, but obviously of an adult nature. Yeah.
I forgot I went through a phase of just binging those, and I've forgotten the name of the antagonist, the lady.
Yeah.
Ellis and James.
There's a Radio 2 DJ, isn't there?
Yes. Do you listen to Jokes with Mark Simmons?
Mark Simmons. No. Mark Simmons.
That recently has become one of my favourites.
I quite like the topical ones. The news show, Friday Night Comedy, so the Now Show, and the other one, it's what's it called? Friday Night Comedy. They flip it round.
Yeah, there's Dead Ringers. I presume then you watch Smash Report and.
Yeah.
You must listen to the Bugle.
No.
Oh. All right. What we'll do is we'll kill. I'll share all my my.
Yeah, because a lot of live comedy tend to say go as often as I can, sort of thing. Fortunately, Chorley, which is the next town along, they have a little theatre and they have people come and do lots of different comedy gigs. I had a couple lined up, but obviously they've all been shelved and everything's moved to September. September seems to be sequel bits as well. So the Bugle, I've added that one as well.
Yeah, I don't get to many because when I never know where I'm going to be. So that's probably one of the downers of,
Yeah.
I mean, one of the great things about the virus is I'm at home more, but there's no shows on. Old Rope. So there's a comedy show called The Old Rope in London, and they're doing theirs online now.
The Comedy Store did one, and that was a live gig, and they had audience. It was like the Gong Show where they gong people off. So they had a live audience of, I think, 100 people, but they picked 4 or 5 at a time. Technology didn't work out, first of all, so the first 15 minutes was them trying to sort the videos out, and then they went to different people in different places, and everyone had to do comedy show for up to 3 minutes. And if you made 3 minutes, you got through to go and do a live gig. Everyone was rubbish. Someone actually came off Twitter, and he was the guy who won it. So it was really good. It was like an hour and a half of just crazy stuff, but live. That was quite entertaining. Something I wouldn't have done probably pre-pandemic, but it was
we all, Hey, there was pre-pandemic lives and our post-pandemic lives.
Let's hope so, anyway.
Yeah.
Other than pandemic lives. Yeah.
So, yeah, sorry, we're on Richard Herring, who
Yes.
pick a number between 1 and 1001, and I'll ask you a question from the emergency question book.
99.
Oh, we had 99.
I don't know.
Pick.
Where's that one?
These are emergency questions for dates. What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you when you've been kissing? And remember, it's a family show.
I seem to have a recollection from my youth of a girl who'd not long since vomited. I kissed her. That's probably the worst thing. Left a bad taste in my mouth, shall we say.
Yeah, no more.
I didn't know at the time. That's the worst thing. Yourself? What about yourself? Works both ways, this.
I don't know. No. I'm a eunuch. I've got a lovely singing voice, and that's my answer to all questions.
I haven't got a lovely singing voice.
I mean,
that's for sure.
Sorry, it's a Pirates of the Caribbean joke.
Right. Okay.
Sorry. It's much better when no one gets the references. And they just go, what are you talking about? You're a eunuch.
Just ignoring it. Yeah, should have just ignored it.
Just pretend I didn't say anything.
Everyone's thinking, yeah.
So are you going to... You're planning on doing maybe something... What? So you're doing a virtual user group now? Hiya.
Yes. So tomorrow, obviously, yourself, and I'm not sure which speakers we had lined up, because we obviously rotate around who's organising it. It's quite good because the user groups followed me around for quite a few years where I've worked, contracted. I've been fortunate that our host at the moment, big law firm in Manchester, and put a venue up, which is one of the things we sort of challenge with. But it's always been moving around where I've gone because I've been working in Manchester for quite a while. So it's quite nice it's virtual now. Hands off tomorrow. I'll be able to sit back and laugh at Pikey when it's all going wrong.
How many people from Microsoft does it take to get a Teams call running? Clearly too many. Are you going to go to Data Weekender? Have you submitted for any of them?
I submitted. I didn't get through, but there's a lot of good content in there. A lot of people have got through. 42 sessions, they were saying today. So there's 6 tracks. So that sounds amazing. I mean, a lot of effort has gone into putting that on, and especially in this climate. So I'm quite looking forward to that. There should be some... It always annoys me when there's lots of sessions because you can't see them all. So hopefully, I don't know, Gethin and those guys are going to be able to watch them afterwards. That'd be quite good. Because there's always streams that if you've got 3 or 4 running at once, there's always one you want to see and another one you don't want to see type thing.
Yeah.
Putting pressure on that.
I mean, there'd be no point not recording them. I mean, it'd be daft to
I suppose technology does it anyway now, doesn't it? So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is being streamed. It's just picking... I mean, I've not done a virtual conference. I've done this locally. So, kind of, everyone can have their own Zoom. What, it's 40 minutes? Oh, no, I think it's longer. Each person could have a Zoom call, or...
Yeah.
I don't think a Teams call would work because of the way you invite people. You can have a Teams event, WebEx sessions. So there's kind of different options. I mean, streaming straight up onto YouTube would be easier because it's automatically recorded and buffered up there. So, but I was asking Kevin what kind of tech they were using the other night, and they hadn't decided.
Yeah, I saw the chat. Yeah. Yeah, so I sort of started to get the speaker bug as well a bit because I was fortunate. Went to SQL Saturday Belgium, and so went over there. And the same talk on Azure Data Studio, I got picked for Iceland and Copenhagen, and then all this kicked off. So the Iceland one's been cancelled. I will go back to I've never been to Iceland, so I will go at some point. The Copenhagen one's been moved again to September. I think a lot of things to do. So just as I was getting into it, I thought, yeah, it's quite exciting, all this.
I vaguely remember there was a sequel Saturday in Exeter, and we did a live link up with Leeds, and I believe you did a session on notebooks.
Yeah, Phil Grayson, sort of data engraver. I don't think he's running it this year, but maybe things have changed. He's ran that for the last few years in Leeds, and yeah, they did a connection with Exeter, and that was like 5-minute chat between Exeter and Leeds, and it was quite good. It got a lot of people in there. Me and Pikey went over, and I think it was a late one that night, I seem to recall.
Well, I was on the Exeter side running that room, and I vaguely remember just watching your bum mostly because of the way the camera was positioned.
I apologise for that. No one needs to see that.
I thought it was deliberate.
Saw anything.
We saw the screen in your bottom, and I mean, what more does a man need to see?
See, that's these things we don't hear about. Because we got a room with a guy with a massive beard in, I seem to recall at the beginning. Yeah, yeah, it's quite good. It's quite good that we worked out.
Yes, yeah. we had the guy do the slightly risque talk on the Internet of Things.
What's that?
Oh, I'll remind you afterwards. It's not fit for family broadcast.
Right, yeah, I can't remember. Yeah.
So did you submit to 8-bit, 8KB, or whatever it's called?
No, because that's an internals one, isn't it? So I'm assuming the content was internals.
Well, I think they were doing 3 to 500.
Right, so it's a variety. It wasn't just SQL internal stuff, was it not?
Well, I guess 8K, as in 8K pages, then you would probably think it was SQL. I
was the internals, but I'm sure it said I had internals, didn't it?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I assumed it was, highly detailed talks. There were like 3 examples of a 300 to 500. I think it's because the Data Platform Discovery Day, which I think is next weekend or this weekend, next weekend, is level 100. So this was like a far more technical.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it actually. I don't know anything too much about it, but I will do. I have a nosy. One of those trying to keep going with stuff. I've just ordered a virtual reality headset today. So I was thinking, I'm not travelling at the moment. What should I do? Don't need any train tickets. Got a few quid extra there. And it just popped up. It was out of stock, and I was on one of these stock checker things, and it came up. Clicked on it. I thought, oh, go on.
What system is that?
It's on Thursday, so that'll Oculus Quest or something. It's a VR set, but it's standalone. You can plug it in, but it's standalone as well. So I'll be able to sit there and just watch Netflix and not annoy anyone in the room. I don't know too much about it.
I've tried. I don't know which one it was. I think it was off the PlayStation. I can't remember which one it was, but I've tried one on, and it's fully immersive. And you can watch like a 90-inch TV because that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you could. I'm not sure if it's okay for watching an entire film, but
I don't know. Yeah.
Have you got children?
Nearly got his age wrong then. I've got an 18-year-old daughter as well, but she doesn't live with us. She's a bit older.
Yeah, so will he try and steal it though and borrow it?
Possibly, but he seems to have got his own tech and stuff. Because he's now earning, he's just buying everything he can do, sort of thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes.
He's got more stuff than I have.
Well, I did notice that we're not spending so much on petrol. So kind of, yeah, these are going to be a good couple of months.
It's cheap as well, isn't it?
Well, I did know.
Yeah. Prices have dropped, I've noticed.
So, so over here,
by the barrel.
It was, I saw on the news that it was a negative, but I couldn't, that doesn't quite add up.
I don't think that works in the petrol pumps, though, does it? If I filled up, you owe me 60 quid.
Yeah. I mean, over here, it was, I think, 107. But I think that kind of, it might be cheaper over where you are, because I think it's more expensive.
Yes. I always remember years ago when they had all the protests, the rolling roadblocks, and that was because it went over £1. And it's been way over for a long time.
I know. Oh, yeah, I do remember those. I remember kind of where we lived, kind of going, well, we'll be able to, will I have enough petrol to drive to work tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll have more of it now. There's too much. They can't get rid of it. Some positives out of the current situation.
Yeah,
cheap petrol.
Yeah, not so good for the petrol companies. Wait a minute,
no,
you've got shed loads of money in petrol. I don't think we need to worry so much about them.
No.
So, one final question. I think we've done cheese. We've done podcasts, which I didn't know. What about nominating someone else to chat to me? Who do you think might like to talk to me?
Yeah, I don't know how good the tech is for Teams and stuff for actually communicating with people. Can you get subtitles on it? Does subtitles work? Because I was thinking of nominating some of one of our colleagues from the user group on the wrong side of nines. So that's either SQL Geordie, Chris Taylor, or Phil Grayson from the Leeds and Newcastle. But I imagine you'll need subtitles on if you get. Should we start with Phil? I'll nominate Phil because you'll probably be able to understand him better than Chris.
I've already asked Phil, but he's coming on.
Oh, okay.
There's only one condition that he'll come on that. So I've said you can come on, but you can't talk about Jimmy Savile. That's it. We're not doing any Savile talk.
I don't know that reference. Well, I know Jimmy Savile, but is he?
If you go, because I spent quite a long time in Leeds, so going to the user group when I was working over there, and so I got to know Phil a little bit, and when we went SQL Relay, we went out. When Phil gets a little drunk, though, he starts. The conversation goes a bit south. Yeah, he was telling me, that's the hospital, and Jimmy grew up over there.
Or is it Jimmy Savile aficionado? Is he?
He is, yeah. He's like our Louis Theroux.
Well, me and Pikey had a night out with him after Data and Gravy, but there was no mention of Jimmy Savile. Fortunately, we were lucky on that one.
Maybe it's just me.
Maybe, yeah.
So Chris.
So has someone already nominated Phil? Then, or have you?
I've already asked him.
I can ask Chris Taylor.
Yeah.
Who runs the Newcastle user group? Good lad.
We've already had his partner in crime on here. For some reason, I'm thinking sequel. Because I wonder if I can find the picture of them at Sequel Bits as superheroes. Because didn't he go as YI Man?
that sounds about right. Yeah, I don't know what happens at these parties. I just seem to. My memory seems to go. I'm not sure. I can't work out what it is.
Well, you got shot a few times at the last one.
Shots or shot?
I shot you a few times. You were hanging around with Ian at the end, and you were both slightly worse for wear.
That must have been Ian. It's never me.
No. There was a bit of a foam fight at the end.
Yeah. This is I sort of we look forward to the September one sort of thing. I hadn't got a costume organised yet, so I've still got a bit of time. I haven't planned it this time.
Well, there's plenty of time to get a costume now. Plenty of time to make one in your downtime. Make some huge clown
with my new DIY skills and a bit of silicone.
Some stilts. I did look at some stilts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would hurt myself really badly.
Who was it said it was the unicyclist? Who's the unicyclist? Where have I got that from? It's not from this, is it?
I did. I have got a unicyclist.
Yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might mention this. Yeah.
I did.
There you go then.
Did fall off it a few times.
Kitchen table.
Yeah.
I remember. See, I have watched it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can just skim it.
There you go. You can quiz people, the future ones, on previous ones. Yes. See how much attention they've paid if they've watched them. No panic there.
Yeah. So on the 21st of March, what? Who did I talk to?
It's quite niche.
Yeah.
I find it quite interesting actually, because the Alex ones found so much more about him with his shotguns and various things like that, and it's interesting to get an insight into other people's lives. Yeah.
Well, this is stuff that you when you see Alex, you just wouldn't. I mean, why would you even talk about it or find out about the fact that he used to do fireworks?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's kind of, you find out all these little nuggets, and Alex is so great because you just ask him a question and he's off on a tangent. So
I did notice I was looking because the mine's probably going on as long, and you were saying goodbye to him like that's finished, and I thought, hang on, there's another 10 minutes of the video left. What goes on? And then he just goes on and on. It was like one question, and it was like, I can't leave it there. I've got to carry on. I can't remember what the question was now. It was just something about hovercraft or something. It was like, right, and away we go.
Yeah. But that's the kind of, and if you don't need to cut it short, and I think that was Friday afternoon, finished work, and so let's have a good chat and natter, and I mean that was the thing, let's try something out, see if this works. I mean it's more work. It's more work than I thought it'd be.
It's working though.
Do you think?
Good, Mark. Yeah.
It's hard to know because I've not been publicising it. I've been trying to kind of do it on the quiet just to see kind of if the format works, if kind of people are actually going to watch it. But I might take a little break of a few days, like tomorrow night. I think the next night, then I've got some more next week planned, and see how it goes. Oh, I've just seen a message. It's someone's birthday in a couple of days. Shouldn't get distracted. Should chuck the phone away. Yes. See, when I a couple of presentations I've done, because are you familiar with Stuart Lee?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I thought you were saying in like a SQL data world, but no.
No. As in kind of the comedian Stuart Lee.
Comedian, yeah.
Well, I borrowed a couple of his. I quite like him, so I tried to take some of his ideas and a few things he's done. So, like, if you go to his show, he warns everybody that kind of if you turn your phone on, I'll see it. It's really like bright light.
Yeah.
So I will take your phone off you. If you're going to use it, it's just it wrecks the show and stuff, and it interrupts it. And kind of when I saw him live, he did go out to somebody who turned their phone on. But there was a recent news thing where he went out to someone and he got their phone off them and put it down his pants. I've warned people kind of in presentations, not they couldn't use their phone, but just don't have it on loud. Just put it on silent.
Yeah.
Use it, but don't disrupt everyone else around. And one time someone's phone did go off, and kind of then I did go up to them, but they wouldn't give me their phone. I would have taken it.
Not.
I would have taken it. If people don't know if you're serious. I am.
Yeah.
You're there to watch me, not listen to that phone. Plus, it kind of helps. It amused me, and that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Well, Martin, you've been wonderful, and if I do talk to you again, which I hope to, I'm gonna pick a random book off your bookshelf and and then embarrass you by going, "Is that a Gavin and Stacey book?"
Can you?
Yeah, no, yes. I can see that. Yes.
There's random stuff on there, sort of thing. There's another 2 bookshelves over the other side. Yeah.
Right, I might make you turn your laptop around, and then we can go hunt books. Find the most embarrassing book in your collection.
Yeah, so I think some of the old sequel ones probably are the worst ones. Yeah.
There's that graphic novel, Dark Man.
What's in that? The Guru's Guide to Translact Sequel. I actually used it as a prop one time to put a radiator underneath it. It's got a burn mark on the back of it. Great book, that one.
You've got no respect for the written word.
Still heater. I needed to keep warm. This is years and years ago, this was.
Yeah, I believe you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, on that note, Martin, thank you for coming on, and I will speak to... Actually, tweet Chris. You can do it.
Yes,
and let him know that he'll be coming on.
Yes, that he's nominated. And I will see you tomorrow, funnily enough.
Yes, see you tomorrow.
User groups. Hopefully, anyway, if you remember. After saying, I've got nothing on for the next couple of days.
I've got probably got some session to write and do some research tonight.
I'm sure Pikey will be, on contacting you anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're going to do our prep, tech prep. But hey, what's the worst thing that can happen? Everything breaks.
No, you said it.
Yeah. All right.
Well, thank you,
Martin. All right. Take care.
All right.
And we'll see whether you disappear before I stop the stream.